Hey everyone, it's Kraze here. I'm going to be making a talents and glyphs video for Windwalker Monk PvP side. The first talent is celerity. This allows you to bowl more often. Not very useful for Windwalkers and arenas, of course. I don't even see a use for that. Tiger's Lust. Instantly have a movement impairing effects like a hunter's disengage, or when a mage Frost Nova's you and you need to get out of there. That's about all it's used for. With momentum, that's only useful if you go Brewmaster and you're flag carrying. Not even much use in that. Now for tier 2, the Chi Wave. 2 Chi instant, 8-second cooldown. Let's test it out. Getting roughly 12k heals, 8-second cooldown. It's actually the best one because Zen Sphere 2 Chi instant, no cooldown. But the problem is it only heals every 2 seconds, and it doesn't help as much as you would think. And shamans can purge it from you. Now Chi Burst. I do not recommend this at all because it's a cast. I mean, you can get. I don't see why you would cast over an instant every 8 seconds. Honestly, do not see a use in this. Tier 3, level 45 talents, Power Strikes. Every 20 seconds you gain Power Strikes, causing your next jab, soothing mist, or crackling J line and generate 1 additional Chi. If at max Chi Sphere will be summoned near you. This can be useful in some situations, but the placement of the Chi orbs is very random. So you could be cutting a lot more than you need to. Now Ascension. Since the buff in 5.1 PTR, this is actually the best. Increases max G by 1, maximum mana for Mistweavers by 15%, and energy regen for Brewmasters and Windwalkers by 15%. How this helps? You can regenerate energy so much faster than you used to be able to, therefore faster access to just be able to jab, build up your Chi, deal some damage, build up your Tiger's Eye Brew, of course. Now Chi Brew instantly restores all your Chi. This could be used as a burst, but with the 1.5 minute cooldown, I mean it's just 2 jabs. That honestly is far less useful than Ascension in my opinion for Windwalkers. Tier 4 talents, which is level 60, Deadly Reach. First of all, Paralysis ability is not usable from 20 yards away. Now, 5.2, that will be removed and be made baseline for paralysis. Replaced with Ring of Peace. So, it's useless to choose right now. Charging Ox Wave. Instant. Mighty Ox Effigy versus 4, 30 yards in front of you, stunning all enemies within its path for 3 seconds. This is good, but if you miss, that's it. It's very useful against rogues, warriors, and death knights especially. Leg Sweep. Now knocks down all enemies within 5 yards, stunning them for 5 seconds, 45-second cooldown. But the problem is, I've noticed when I'm moving and I use it, usually it doesn't work. I think it's a glitch, but usually it doesn't work for some reason. Now, Healing Elixirs. In PvP, if you're not careful, you're not going to last 18 seconds to be healed for 10% of your total health. Usually they can just burst you, not let you use your Touch Karma ability, and that's that. Now Dampen Harm. Dampen the damage from the most harmful attacks done to you. Next 3 attacks within 45 seconds that deal damage to 20% or more of your total health are reduced in half. 1.5 minute cooldown. The problem with that, down to 41k. Yeah, not a lot of attacks are going to do more than a fifth of that. That's about 63k damage. Not a lot of attacks can do that besides like an execute from a warrior. Diffuse Magic. This is especially useful against double mage or mage and Espriest arena 2s or in 3s because it reduces all spell damage taken by 90%. And clears all magical effects on you, reversing them back to the original caster if within 40 yards, if possible. Lasts for 6 seconds. that ruins their burst. Just before they deep freeze you, use it. There goes their burst. Now, the final tier, tier 6, level 90, Rushing Jadewind. Travels 30 yards in front of you, dealing nature damage to everyone in his path, increasing damage taken by spinning crane kick for 8 seconds. This honestly is not very useful compared to the other talents because you won't be using spinning crane kick like at all in PvP. Invoke Zwin the White Tiger. This is a good one because whenever you use your trinkets, basically Zwin is like taking a flash picture of your agility stat, copying all the damage you do. It also has an AoE. He lasts for 45 seconds. So he's generating lightning every 6 seconds, dealing a 5-second dot. That's pretty good. As considering he can do it 7 times while he's up. And attacks, pounces the enemy, like so. That's how he does it. 3-minute cooldown, however. But your Tiger's Eye Brew, your trinkets, such as Malevolent Gladiator's Badge of Conquest, also help you burst using him. Now, Chi Torpedo. This is only useful really for Mistweavers because I do not see why you would choose this over Zwin the White Tiger. Like, honestly, it makes no sense to me. Now on to the glyphs. I use Glyph of Touch of Calmer. Touch of Calmer has a 20-yard range. Now, what does Touch of Calmer do? Well, Touch of Calmer does all damage you take is redirected to the enemy target as nature damage over 6 seconds instead of you. Damage cannot exceed your total health, lasts for 10 seconds. 2 chi, instant, 20-yard range, minute and a half cooldown. The next is Glyph of Fist of Fury. When channeling Fist of Fury, your parry chances increase by 100%. Why would you use this? Well, I've had cases where I was using Fist of Fury, say on a mage, and he had a warrior with him. Warrior kept trying to attack me, but because it was while using Fist of Fury, all of his attacks were parried. It can be helpful sometimes. It's situational, but always useful to have just in case. Now, Glyph of Transcendence. Increases the range of Transcendence transfer spell by 10 yards. How the heck's that helpful? Well, set your Transcendence behind a pillar. Display your body and spirit, leaving your spirit behind for 15 minutes. Use Transcendence transfer swaps location to your spirit. 45-second cooldown. 0.472 second cast. Pretty fast. Transcendence transfer. 15 energy. The same amount of cast time. 50-yard range. 25-second cooldown. Body and spirit swap locations. Am I going to use this? Let's see. Say, age right there. No, wait. Say I'm over here. Say the spirit is behind a pillar. I'm right here. I'm rooted. Before he deep freezes. You can use all kinds of situations. It's not completely situational. But the extra 10 yards is helpful because for some reason it's been glitching to where if you move out of 40 yards range, your spirit disappears. With this extra 10 yards, it can be a lifesaver. Another useful one I don't use a lot, though I should, is Glyph of Sparring. While sparring, you have a 5% chance to deflect spells from attackers in front of you, stacking out 3 times. Why are you mentioning parry? It's a good question. Because of sparring. When you are attacked by a melee enemy in front of you, you begin to further attacks, increasing your chance to parry by 5% for 10 seconds. There's a 30-second cooldown on this, but when you attack them back, sparring is amplified by an additional 5%, stacks up to 3 times. How's it stacked then? Swift reflexes. Increases your chance to parry by 5%. Whenever you parry an attack, you reflexively strike back at the enemy, dealing damage. This effect has a 1-second cooldown. So every time you parry, you are increasing your chances of doing more damage while just defending yourself, pretty much. Well, Touch of Death can be useful, say against a Blood Death Knight in arenas that I've seen a lot. Touch of Death no longer has a chi cost, but cooldown is increased by 2 minutes. Just because of the force set, but you can't use it. Force set. For Malevolent Gladiators, Artskin Tunic. Touch of Death can be used on players with 10% or less health, instantly killing them. It means you can use it before they use a Death Strike to heal themselves. And the last one, the glyph of Zen Meditation. You can now channel Zen Meditation while moving. Why is that useful? Zen Meditation channel, 3-minute cooldown, reduces all damage taken by 90% and redirects to you up to 5 harmful spells cast against party and raid members within 30 yards. Lasts for 8 seconds. Being the victim of a melee attack will break your meditation canceling effect. However, rules so getting silenced because it's channeled. But you can use this, go behind a pillar. So say you're with a Frost Death Knight or Hunter that gets frozen. He already uses Trinket. He's defreezed. And Mage is about to burst on him. Use that, go behind a pillar. As long as you're within the 30 yards, most of the spells will just go around the pillar, hit you for 10% of the damage you're supposed to do. Hope this was informative for a lot of you. Have a good one, everybody.